All right, everyone, Mark Sajan here again, and this is we have a couple issues with the file, so it's time to clean up, and we'll see some troubleshooting in action. Okay, so first of all, the file size is way too big. It's about 300 megabytes. Even if the history is not saved, there's no history attached. The file is getting big because we have so many items here. So if you want to get rid of these, you can always delete the unwanted files, PM sphere. This is just the head, and delete. Okay, so this is just, it's pointless to save everything. Now this was the original. This was a little bit spiky in here and a few things. I will just delete this if we are not using this anymore. We have another version of this. Again, this is just simply making it way too big in general. And we have this file just with the head, and I will keep it because the main thing that we want to keep here is the head itself. Okay, so this is a test file, the test ZRemesher model, which one is about 10K. The problem, this ZRemesher was done without the symmetry on. So what we can do, we can make it try to fix it. But there's another file here below this one, and this one is a little bit different. I mean, it's much more smooth and welded. Now these two files are not matching, so this one has no subdivision levels and has no right symmetry, so this is not usable as is. Now this one it has no details. It is smooth, but it has no details. So I don't know which file we want to choose, but probably this one should be slightly better. So that will be my guess to fix this one. So I will just delete this and focus on the what we have, and I will rename it to original. And once we have this original file, we will duplicate it and Ctrl+Shift+D and rename it to repair. Okay, so we have to turn on symmetry because otherwise we were not able to do any changes. I'm using the Shift key and smooth it out. And as you see, we have to completely recalculate it with the similar number of polygons. So this one, I have to do it geometry, ZRemesher. Target count is same, so this is grayed out, and we don't need to do anything else. Just hit ZRemesher and make sure it's working fine. So symmetry is on, we are hitting the same, and this is how it looks. Okay, ZRemesher, when symmetry is on, it will actually pick up symmetrical details. Now this same was not working properly, so I'll just set it to about 3. That should be about 10,000-ish here. And let me repeat this because the edge was a little bit off. Okay, so if it doesn't work, what we'll do is modify topology and mirror and weld and just force weld the things. So it was not just the option of the problem of with symmetry, it is also rotated this model, so that was a little bit changed in 3D space, I guess. So this is why we had, and I'm just making a light fixes. And again, so this was the first part, just to make it symmetrical, and hopefully this will help ZRemesher to work better. So symmetry is on, ZRemesher is running, and we will see what it makes. Okay, so this is now empty here. If so, I will give it a try to weld things together. So just modify topology, and here we have weld points, and see if this one makes it better, because every point that is matching in the 3D space, those are welded now. So we can go back to the ZRemesher and hit ZRemesher and see if it solves the issue. Okay, so those points were not welded. Somehow in the distant time they were just a little bit crushed. Okay, so now that gap is gone and we have an issue here. I will just smooth it out and work it. This is a little bit dark. Control W to have a little bit better, lighter look. Okay, so that is the shape. And what we do want is to match the shape to the original. So this was about 9,000. So what we want to do is we want to pick up the original's details. So for that, we'll use project and project all, and yes, polypane data. Oh no, we don't care now. There's no point here. Okay, so we try to pick it up, and we have symmetry on, and then choose project all. No, we don't want. Okay, and let me just look at here. Oh, I did the opposite. Yeah, so this is turned on. This is the model we want to project all. Okay, right, so this is the base. Now we want to go back with some UVs. If you have a model that has already subdivisions, like Ctrl D, and we have subdivisions and project all, then you have to go. Yes, okay. Then you have to go with the work on clone object, and then copy and paste UV once you're done with the UVs. So I will do it that way now. So here's the repaired model. I will go hit and work on clone, and that will create a duplicated model. Let me go back with a different basic color. And this has no subdivision levels, so if I'm pressing D, it will just bring this the dynamic subdivision. So we can work on this and just flatten UVs. So Ctrl Shift and using select lasso, and just lasso this out, and maybe Ctrl Shift X to grow and just hide away. Ctrl Shift X, one more grow, and Ctrl Shift and Alt, and using the hide. Okay, Ctrl W. So that's one part. We are using Ctrl Shift and okay, just make it disappear. Is it right? Yes. So now Ctrl Shift and X to grow. Ctrl Shift and X to grow. Okay, where should we go? All right, this is looking good. Maybe this one is not. We're not interested to have these. That, yes, exactly. Maybe these as well. So a few polygons are hidden. Okay. Now this looks fine. Here, this is a little bit jaggy, but this is what the model provides. This is an automatic topology, so in this case it's fine for now. And Ctrl W and invert, because this is the flow. The flow is going in a different direction, different way. We can make it a little bit nicer by removing these. From the game. Alright, just to have a bit of a cleanup. Alright, so that part is there. Maybe this one should be also excluded. Rotating around, how well it goes. We want to invert the selection and remove some points here and there to include to the other. Should I check it? Okay, Ctrl Shift Z, go back. Right, invert and see what's going on. We have maybe a stray polygon here and there. Yeah, this one is my stray polygon. and hide it, rotate, and there we go. Okay, just sometimes it's hard to catch. Okay, there we are. Oh, and this one was working previously, but I had to check it. All right, so there we go, and Control W. So now it's a little bit more believable. Joint, great. And just using the selection tool and try to make it pretty accurate. The more accurate we are with the selection and growing the selection and growing, I think it's fine. Control W. There we are. We want to have some control painting. So enable control painting, attract, and using the lazy mouse function. So lazy mouse pressing L, and we have stroke, and we have lazy mouse. Lazy mouse it was turned on, so set it to about 10, and that helps to paint it a little bit easier. So we should have this here. Great. Okay, this is where we want to open up basically the thing. And now going back to plugin and polygroups, and attract is there, and UV map, and see how it works. Oh yeah, still progress, still how it works. See it, okay. Everything is fine. I'm pretty satisfied with these. The head is just stretched out on flatten, and let us just check the seams. So these are here are the seams. This one is not so lucky, so if you wish you can repaint it, but as is for now. Fairly self-explanatory that it works. Now check seams turn off, and I will copy the UVs. And going back to the main model, this is the main model. Shift D, walk down, and paste the UVs. So if I'm flattening it now, flattening only allows without subdivision levels, but anyway, if we want to see how this works, we can actually just go in geometry and choose and use a picture. If I'm curious about if this whole thing is working, I can duplicate it. This is just a temporary temp test, so copy paste was working. And just to show you, geometry, and we can delete the higher and now use flatten, and see this one is flattened. Okay, so this is copy and pasted, right? So this is how it looks now, and I'm flattened. So even if this model has no the main model has subdivisions, this is why it's not allowing us to go flatten, but there we go. We can give it a try. I don't know if it works with UV map and morphing. Morphing works. Okay, so the morphing will show this UV thing even if we have subdivision levels. So let me go back and delete just the test. Alright, so that's how you can copy and paste your stuff. And this is our original model, and as you see, it has issues with the symmetry and everything. A couple holes or look-alike things, and this is the repair. And we can press Ctrl D, and only while the highest subdivision level is active. So if I'm pressing D, now it's going with 1, and Ctrl D. Okay, so this is ready to work and do the magic. So if we want to get back some details around the head, we can give it a try to copy the head itself, and copy and move it to the figure and paste it. And the visibility is off, so let me just do this, and I will turn off everything else. No eyes, nothing else, just the head, and select the repair mesh and mask it with a larger brush. So mask it with a larger brush. There we go. And the goal here is I want to pick up some details, not all but some. Maybe this is not perfect, but I will give it a try. We'll see. Those horns are problematic in general, so those are problematic. Blur it, invert, and we have the head now, and I will give it a try. Shift D, walk down in resolution, and give it a try to project all, and D, walking up and project all, and D, walking up and project all. So shift, yeah, control drag, and this is now the our highest resolution. So let me show this. This is about this resolution. Control D, yeah, we have a masking. Control D, even smoother. Let me repeat the mask and just blur, 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 and invert the mask, and going back with the head, and maybe we can pick up more. Okay, this is fairly good. 6,000, 600,000. So let me just go with this, leave it, clean up the mask. We can get back the eyes, everything. Now this model has UV, it has symmetry, it has basically everything to work on and paint on. And because we don't need this file anymore, I will just delete this one. This is the head, the previous head, the original, just to keep things. This is a little bit messy, so we definitely don't want to keep it. Okay, so now resolution is there, everything is there, it's ready to work. And for this was the clone. Again, we don't really want to use everything, and if it's not usable, then why to keep it? It will just grow the size. Okay, so we have U-mesh head, that's the separation. Okay, and this is repair. And the color for sculpting is better if it's a basic material, a basic color. Okay, now we'll save it, and that's how to fix a file that has no, basically has problems, subdivision levels, details, UV missing, symmetry is wrong, and we have some cavities, holes, and other parts. All right, so this is quite fruitful troubleshooting. All right, see you next time. Goodbye.